Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Lathrix, and welcome to why, when you are a little bit intoxicated, you should not think to yourself, you know what, I'm going to play From the Depths for 5 minutes, because what happens is you go to make a little drone, perhaps a bit better than your last drone, and you end up making a helicopter, which is way too big to be called a drone, even though drones in this game terminology and all that. Anyway, yes, I do have a new vehicle called the Scythe. Apparently, Intoxicated Lathrix also isn't very original. So, yeah, lots of explaining to do. This is a mine layer. As you can see underneath it, it has a grand total. I believe I counted over 50 overall, although it may be much higher than that. Counting all those little specks is kind of scary. It's actually, well, it works pretty well. It's very fast. I should have added a custom jet to it, now I look at it now, and it has some very nasty missiles using the, oh, what do you call them? The variable missiles, the variable fly movie things. Anyway, it's a helicopter. So let's just quickly go on to it so I can actually lock on my placement. There we are. I promise you I won't be doing this much building off camera for quite some time. Again, that is. It has anti-laser, anti-missile systems. It has okay shielding and an okay-ish engine, a smaller version of the one we have in the Snapjaw. It has no anti-aircraft whatsoever, which is very concerning to me. And, well, again, it has lots of mines, which are actually well AI'd. It works fairly well. It's fairly quick, and it's a good harassment thing. It goes over the enemy and drops so many mines they cannot move from fear of being hit, and honestly, with how the mines get dropped, it tends to put them in the correct place. Anyway, so before we ram into the wall, we're going to go and test this thing. We're going to do this as an act of science, because I am yet to really test this vehicle. I do wish to, well, test it. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, have I accidentally... Yeah, okay, so both in the same fleet right now. Okay, so maximum speed 38, probably a record for me. We're going to have a test, and if it works well, we're going to improve upon this design. So be right back once I can lure the enemy into some open water. Well, here we go. So we're against some pretty basic enemies, but that's to be expected from the Deepwater Guard and their standard, what do you call this? Section defenders? Map segment defenders as well. They're not exactly renowned for good defense. It's their actual attacks, their strike forces, which give fear in the hearts of men, such as the Shrikes and the Coffin Nails and such. Anyway, we are against a urchin, and sledge. So I'm hoping we'll do okay. Honestly, this is a basic test just to make sure this actually works as intended, as I've not actually been able to fight it in a true battle yet. So, one thing before we start, I have modified it very briefly just then. So there's the regular missiles, and that's what the modification was. I've added two very small swarm missiles to the front, which don't actually go for random blocks, which is a huge negative. But by the looks of it, the missiles do a pretty darn good job. Our anti-missile system is not good enough. I did take a few shots at that missile, but didn't do anything to it. So because of the speed of our ship as well going towards the enemy missiles, that was rather bad. On the upside, the missiles were freaking deadly, and the mines were dropped in the correct place, which is exactly what I wanted to see. So overall, not bad, and the mines finished off the enemy. Turning is okay, speed is better than okay. Defense was not good though. A very large chunk got instantly removed, mostly because the anti-missile system was very poor. Very, very poor indeed. Oh, actually, I think I might know why. Yep, the coverage of these actually... Two things. The coverage of the... Where are they? Load sub-object. Detectors were simply not good enough, so that might be kind of a false negative there. It might actually be a bit better than I expect. I do have 4 separate anti-missile systems now. 2 in the center, therefore, purely against the front, then 2 on the sides against everything else. So that should have been okay. Let's just pop this... You can tell the beams go one way then the other way here, can't you? Look at that, how the metal has changed. Let's just pop it here. There we go, that happily spin away. I love that, by the way. I've purposely allowed it to not be on, to allow the spin block controllers to control all of them, because it makes these go hyper every now and again, which makes me laugh. Okay, well that was successful. I do want to fight a stronger enemy, however. I also just realised I haven't put the beams back in there, so let's just shove that in like that. Okay, fantastic. And let's go and find a stronger enemy. Hopefully they'll be sending a strike force soon anyway. This is going to be interesting. We are now against the mighty Plunderer. Now that is a ship of some renown indeed. It's actually a really, really well designed ship from the Deepwater Guard. Oh wow, look at those distracting the missiles. That is a new addition, very cool. Okay, anti-missile systems are in action and not anywhere near good enough. No, just no. Because of the extreme limited amount of time we have, that needs to be far better. However, the mine volley has been dropped. And crash... Ooh, missed? Most of them missed, but they are coming back because they're close enough. Yep, absolute destruction there on the side, so that was good at least. The Scythe is still alive, it just had a major mishap on the one side. More missiles coming from the Plunderer. Those are very annoying, it must be said. Wow. Completely stopping the first missile volley there has been a major detriment to the Scythe. Mines being dropped again just off the side, but the magnets are allowing them to swarm in and do the damage they need. I am going to be changing those mines to something else actually soon enough. They'll still be mines, they'll still be a bombardment, but I'm going to change them. At the moment, I've got them as frag with maximum range for their explosion, so the fragments get sent out in a 180-degree angle, so it gets sent out everywhere, because I like that kind of style for mines, but I'm thinking of making them more concentrated and just running the risk of them not always going off in the correct place. The actual speed of the Scythe is being its best thing here. It's making the Plunderer's regular turrets not do much work. Okay, the mines are going off again. Bit of lag damage. Oh, there we go. There goes that turret. Wow, when all the mines hit, it can actually do a fair bit of damage. I'm actually very happy with how this is going, particularly with the swarm missiles in the front. Yeah, now that the back thing is... What is that firework? Is that heat? What actually is that? I need to know what that is, because that's freaking awesome. Mine's being released a little bit early there, but not too bad. I think the Plunderer is done for. I could jump off to capture it, but I think I'd rather watch its destruction, because honestly, it's quite fun to watch. Oh, look at those... I love magnetic mines so much. There's so much delight seeing that. I wish the magnets were a bit stronger though, it must be said. Okay, it's shooting back again, but again the speed is making those turret shots very ineffective. Lots of them are simply missing because of the changing of the direction of the Scythe. Which will be renamed, by the way, just for woof. I think one of its own missiles just hit itself, yeah, on the way down. Because it's going so fast, the missiles which are being fired from the front go off in random directions, sometimes up. One of them managed to come back down on itself as it turned. It does have friend or foe, so I don't home in on them, but... yeah. Definitely needs more damage, though. The damage per second, the DPS coming from this thing, isn't quite what I intended, but honestly... more than happy with that, but lots of flaws. So let's discuss some possible changes for the ship, then. So, let's just turn off its AI for a second, because it's going to go miles into the front. There we go. So the balance is actually okay. It does dip slightly forward, which is actually okay because it means it's shooting the mines slightly backwards. That does allow us to possibly in the future go with what do you call them? The things which shoot look, there you go, the ejectors, so that the mines get sent down faster. That would certainly help. Also be sent backwards, so the forward propulsion is a bit less of an issue. The second thing, as we saw, some missiles that get sent directly upwards because of their current positioning, particularly these being inside the ship, is very, very hazardous. There is a definite potential for them to come back down and crash on this thing's head, as we literally just saw. Other things, the laser defense system, the anti-missile system, nowhere near good enough. We need to be much faster. I think more Q switches are needed to increase the speed of the lasers, to actually damage the missiles a little bit faster, as generally faster shots from that is more of a benefit to bonus damage, bonus yada yada yada. Okay, what else? Custom... We need to do this, we really do. Custom jets. It needs to be done, and I think this is a good ship for it. Perhaps we can extend the middle here to facilitate one of those for a bit of extra speed, although I am very, very happy with the speed of this thing. What else? What else do I want to change? Yep, definitely going to change the mines. At the moment, they're a simple magnet fragment. I think I'm either going to go with explosive warhead or decrease the cone angle and risk it sometimes not working. Because why not? Yeah, there's not really much else we can do. I think we could perhaps lower the start time. That would be a bit of risky if this thing is going down. Another thing, we need balloon deployers and control blocks for the balloon deployers in case it does go down. So below a certain height it activates them in a similar way to how below a certain height the rotor blades turn on. What else do I want to do with this thing? We're having a brainstorming session, Stress. We are having a brainstorming session. Not much else, honestly, because otherwise it gets a bit too big. I like it as it is. I like it being just a missile lobber and kind of distraction unit. I love the mines. Absolutely adore them. And overall, fairly happy. Not upset about this in the slightest. Okay for my first design. Okay. It kind of dawned on me while I was going over here to start clearing out some more of the map sections. There is a small village here. Who wants to see a bomber attack a village? Because I certainly do. It's a bit of a sadistic kick, but I do certainly wish to see this. There's also something I wish to address, so this will be a nice background thing since this can't actually fight back. Saying that, I have no idea what the steady buffalo actually is, so sure. Begin battle, let's see exactly what this thing actually is then. It is... Actually, let's turn off the AI just for a second. Oh, it's going to fire all its missiles though. Let's see, what is the steady buffalo? It is a duck! Oh, wow. Oh, that's bad. That's fantastic looking. Look at that. Weird mouse controls there for some reason. Look at that, it's all rocky. Nope, still not sure what's causing that, but I can always check afterwards. That is very cool, and with some minor adaptations, that could be used as an actual functional thing. Is that worth trying to capture? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say definitely yes. So, let's just quickly add ourselves a, where are you? Control, vehicle control, just for, it's literally going to be here for a couple of seconds. So let's put it on the outside. It's going to, Q. Forward, march! Because obviously this thing's a lot faster than I am. So let's go forwards. Okay, there we go. Turning off our engine. And let's jump down and get to capturing. Well, there's another thing I'm going to have to upgrade afterwards. Currently, I have to actually remove part of the ship to get out. Yeah, I need a proper deck, really. Well, that was surprisingly easy. The AI was literally right there, just below deck. I was actually very close to destroying it with those initial missile shots. Now that looks lovely. I do love flyers, particularly helicopters, just for the ability to stay like that. So if I turn this thing on, it should absolutely eradicate everything. I'm not sure if it'll drop mines from there. Oh, yep, it will indeed, and bam. The mines went everywhere though because it was part of a turn. Oh, that's actually... That was a really bad idea. Oh my lord! Oh, no, I'm not in my control at the moment. Run away now. Well, there goes one of the houses. Let's try to watch some of the action without fearing for our lives too much. We are here to repair, it's okay. Mines are being dropped again, but they're all rolling downhill. You don't need to consider this when they fall into the water. Oh, jeez, turn off. That was a terrible idea. On the upside, they're mostly hitting kind of that area there, not near the AI. Gosh darn it, Scythe. Well, shows how much damage these things can do to wood. Oh, lord, it's still exploding around us. Oh, just fell through. on the bang. Is it stopped? Has it stopped? Are we? Okay, good. They're all self-detonating now. It's been too long. Is that one there? No, it's a piece of wood that fell off some... Nope, nope, there they are. Oh, I do love how fragments self-detonates. Okay, well this needs to be repaired. I don't know if it's actually got any repair bots, so I'm just going to shove some on just so it can do its auto-repair thing while it's not spawned in. So just put them like here. Let's save this constructible. What's it actually called? It's called the Steady Buffalo, isn't it? Okay, save it as the Steady Buffalo so we have that in our stolen thing to make a village one day, which I'm sure we will. And let's go back to hunting some enemies. Okay, time for a rematch. We have the Plunderer and a small sledge escort. Let the battle begin. Oh lord, that sledge, that volley may actually become a huge problem. Although we did kill the sledge fairly easily, as it is a very low tier enemy from the Deepwater Guard, it is going to be a curious thing. Because of our lack of ability to actually deal with that. Oh, what's happened? Talk to me, fella. Why are you so... Oh, I fell off. Well, I have fell off, so... Let's get back on there, because obviously I'm helping repair. The weapon's still going. Perhaps we lost... I think we may have lost our engine there for a second. But it was repaired. Yep, definitely lost a lot of stuff on the back of the ship. Oh my lord, it took out our control blocks. And it's been repaired. Whoa, that was way too close. Yeah, managed to take out our control blocks and and engine for a moment there. Okay, we're at our most vulnerable right now, but again, the speed of our ship is actually doing massive wonders for us, as the shots simply miss. Oh, we lost a bit of their side there. Definitely doesn't do enough damage, that's the problem. This thing probably wouldn't do well in sustained fights, particularly against larger enemies than the Plunderer. The Plunderer is certainly a good ship. Bang. Let's have a look at some of these missiles actually hitting. But, again, a lot of fear for the more difficult designs. I have been very lucky so far that the enemy designs have been quite weak. The enemy designs, of course, on the default settings, as we defined in the start of the series. But yeah, mine's landing, and the mine's doing their. Oh, look at this! Oh, the humanity! And then the degraded mode sets in, so you can't even see the fragments. Oh, going for that again. What is that? Wait, that's a part of a missile? Oh, it's the... I'm going to have to look at that. A little bit scared about that, because that gun is going to hit most of their shots there. Ooh, actually a lot of damage done to our bottom again. We're armoured enough that we are actually repairing faster than this thing can deal damage to us, that's the thing. Because even though it did quite catastrophic damage at the start, it wasn't quite enough to get us out of the air. It might not be the best looking helicopter in real, but I actually quite like the design. Obviously I made it, so of course I like it. But, of course, looks are subjective. The Snapjaw in the comments section was certainly a testament to that. Half of you seem to love the Snapjaw and its kind of robust simpleness, which is kind of what I was going for. And the other half of you loathed it as part of a metal block. I guess taste is very subjective. I like the kind of corrugated kind of style, but obviously some may not share my opinions there. I like this. Again, I like simple. I don't like all flurries of inspiration and stuff. I like simple, dark metal, and that's what I like, and that's what I see there. Again, though, not enough damage. This took way too long. Imagine if we were fighting something a little bit higher tier than the Plunderer. So again, the Coffee Nail, the Angry Chicken, stuff like that. I don't think we would have been quite so lucky. Particularly of how badly we did at the start. But saying that, this is only a 100,000 metal ship. It's not exactly something that's meant to be winning things on its own. Did I mention I'm actually really happy with it, though? Okay, so let's spawn in the okay, one thing. Oops. That's totally all. No. Can I please stop accidentally making these? and get on the scythe. Well, that just about wraps up that. Today we have done science and learnt quite a few things about fast aircraft, because honestly that's something I have no experience with outside of what's occurred in this episode. Most importantly, we have learned that we really need to do shields better, and anti-missile systems are weird and hard to do, but both will be improved. So, overall, actually let's just bring the scythe into existence for this. Overall, I'm actually quite happy with how this turned out. It's certainly not the best aircraft in the world, but I really enjoyed it. It's fast enough to dodge bullets, its missiles are strong enough to kill more basic enemies very easily, and it can do okay in longer battles. I think, though, ultimately, this is going to be a fast kind of response unit that gets into fights quickly because its speed on the map is 42, I think I managed to clock it up to, which is very, very quick. So this thing will be able to fight off multitudes of enemies, and enemy types rather, with its varying missile systems, whilst remaining steady enough to probably fight off medium kind of quality enemies as well. So I'm happy with that. A few big glaring things we need to alter, and we will be altering in the next episode, or the episode after that. First of all, the helicopter blades need to be more protected. I did notice them getting blown off twice. Second of all, obviously the big thing, the laser system nowhere near good enough. And the third thing, possibly changing the mines to something a little bit more effective, as well they simply weren't effective enough. And finally, finally, the fourth thing, we need to armour up this better. Simple as that, either with shields or something else. This section here is not good enough for the engine and the AI, with the control blocks, AI sections and engines all taking their turns to be knocked off the ship. Well, the airship, the helicopter, the flyer, it wasn't a pretty sight, so we do need to do something about that. So plenty of room for improvement, and of course, if you have ideas on how to improve our humble little helicopter here, then of course leave it in the comments below. I read every one of them, even if I don't respond as much as I should do at the moment. On other news, before we finally wrap up, this should be the second to last episode I am in the living room, so hurrah, no more echo, either next episode or the episode after, as the studio now is finished. It's just moving everything into there, as in all of my computer stuff and recording stuff, so hurrah for that, noise cancelling away. Yeah, not much else to say really. Yes, actually there is just a brief mention about the Snapjaw. Now, some of you did voice concerns that perhaps the Snapjaw is the beginning of the end, as in the Snapjaw is a bit overpowered in comparison to other ships. Now, it's funny because some of you, I believe, who play the game more had the opposite opinion, and this is of course fine. You don't have to play a game to watch it. I just kind of want to clarify a few. Ignore that. I was testing out missile systems. 2 missiles. I think they were both. Yeah, I was testing out one turn versus something else. Don't even ask. Yeah, the people who actually play the game quite a bit noticed that these turrets are very poor. They were designed way before I knew how turrets really worked, and honestly, even for fairness' sake, they're kind of terrible. They're absolutely abysmal and a detriment to the entire ship. So they will be being replaced with better, smaller turrets in the future, or a very simple anti-air laser system that can only shoot directly up, once again trying to avoid lasers in their full potential, because I do find it a bit overpowered. Yeah, and the other thing I wish to address is the look of the ship, because people were saying, oh, but Lathrix, I thought you were going against the metal, the kind of square look. But honestly, it's the look I kind of like, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and honestly speaking, I really like how the Snapjaw has turned out, as it's turned into kind of a turtle shape as I intended, and I think it's beautiful in its own special way. The Scythe, on the other hand, yes, don't worry, we're going to be prettying that up off camera, and in the next episode it really does need a bit of TLC. Think of it as a functional prototype and nothing more. So, thank you so much for watching then, that's the end of that. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all of that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. And please, if you have any ideas how to improve the Scythe, then feel free to comment below. I will be reading them. Thank you, and goodbye.